Hey guys, my name is Angelo and I am from Kurasu, Singapore. And I'm really excited to be here to talk to you about our new product that just hit our shores. It's a grinder. It's called the VS3 and it's made by Varia. That is the grinder. It's a work of art. It's really beautiful and I think it's more than just looks. So today we're going to be dialing in a coffee that is also quite new to our coffee list, and it is the Kenyan Maganajo AA. And it's a washed processed Kenyan coffee. It's a SL28, SL34, and Batian varieties. And I've had this coffee a couple of times. It's not your regular Kenyan coffee that you would taste with a lot of currants and whatnot. This one is a little bit more mellowed down in the front. So if you guys want to experience something more closer towards golden fruits with the same nice juicy finish, this is a coffee for you guys to check out. It's a medium roast, so I am sort of expecting something already. And we're gonna be brewing it with the V60 switch. So here's some things that you will need. Your cups, your bowls for you to rest your dripper, just so you don't want to mess up the table. You've got your filter papers over here, and we're gonna be heating and rinsing the dripper and the paper filters together. And that is gonna help us have a much safer coffee without any paper taste, just to rinse it out a little bit. At the same time, you can also heat up your glass carafe. Right, and you're gonna need your grinder. So let's talk a little bit more about the grinder. So what you will get out of the box, you will get this grinder just ready for you to take it out of the box and just plug it in. You've got this nice magnetic touch on most parts that are quite important so that it doesn't really fly away. So you got this nice thing here, you got your ring. So this magnetic ring sort of allows you to adjust your perspective. If you're going to be using the grinder sideways like I am, it's over here. So you can rotate it your 4 directions here. And you've got your ground catcher, your ground cup, and it's magnetic this time. So no more like, oh, I need to put it in a proper place. You're just like, oh, you know? So that's fun. So let's weigh out our coffee grounds. We are kind of like just going with our default recipe, but I do want to change it a little bit since that we do have the control of time on our side. So I want to go a little bit coarser. The last known grind size on this grinder for this coffee would be a 7.5. Now I just want to, go coarser and let it open up a little bit more. And if I'm sort of afraid of under extraction, I always have time on my side so I can actually just keep the grounds in here with the water. But yeah, we've got 15 grams. What comes also in your package is a little nice spray bottle that has Varia on it. What it does, it reduces your static and within your grounds when you're grinding it, so it doesn't really create really messy, sometimes you see your grounds, your shaft is just flying around. So I like to just give this just one spray. Oh, here we go. Yeah, one spray. You can spray your face if you want to wake up a little bit. All right, then we just pop it in. And we take a look at the dial. This dial is so nice. So when it comes straight out from the box, it's already at your 0 point for you. So, and if it doesn't come in at 0 point, just go to the finest and you'll know what I'm talking about. So at your finest, you hit a 0 here. So let me explain the dial a little bit more. From 0 to 4, that would be your range for your espresso. So you do have quite a range over there. But what Varia wanted to do also was to make this a super versatile grinder. So they did increase the middle range, especially for your pour overs. If you do want to go finer, you can. So 0 to 4, at 4 you will start to hit methods like your mocha pot, where you want to have a little bit more of a finer grind to create a nice, richer coffee. Or if you have pressure in it, that's always a good thing. So you do have access to those brewing methods here. And if you go a little bit coarser, from 5 all the way to 8, in my opinion, would be your range for your pour overs. You go on the coarser side, you start entering the long time brewing methods like your cold brews or your French press. But even French press, there are debates on a better recipe, so you can actually explore on the finer side. But mainly for cold brew, extended time brewing, you can go on the coarser side. And then after 9, you hit 0. And this 0 would be your 10, for instance. So 10 and onwards, if you're brewing a bigger batch of cold brews, go ahead. You have access to that. This hopper here can hold about 30 grams. So let's go on to our grind size. I'm gonna be grinding them at grind size 8, just to have a little bit more clarity, a bit more acidity, and a bit more room for mistakes, or for you to explore different recipes and how these minor differences can affect your overall coffee experience. So here we go. The grinder is done. Did you hear how quiet that grinder was? So when we're done heating up this, let's pour it out. Have it on your scale. All right, we're tearing it. All right, just gonna set my temperature a little bit. 95. All right, 15 grams goes in. So what I like to do when I dial in coffees, I like to start with a little bit of intention. I like to plan ahead, like to visualize and sort of form that final product in my head and try to break it down as to how I would get to that point. So we are on a grinder and we're on the coarser setting, so we should have enough room to play. I'm just gonna lock in the valve for my pre-infusion stage. We're gonna time it, and I'm gonna be pouring 50 grams of water for our bloom phase. When you have a regular V60, at this point everything will start draining. But that's what I like about the V60 switch. It does stop time, stop the valve, stop the flow from going out. Allows the water to hang around with the coffee a little bit more and hopefully give a better experience based on your recipe. So I'm just going to release the bloom at this point. We're going to be able to see and roughly catch the extraction from the visual of the first pour, which is your bloom. If it's usually a little bit heavier in color, it's darker. That way you can sort of prepare yourself to pour or to compensate a little bit more. I like to close it up a little bit. I'm going to pour 100 grams Gonna pour it up to 150. So I'm stopping the time, close the valve, stop the flow, to give me a little bit more extraction going on over here. Just gonna drop it out now. So really I'm just adding a little bit more time, stopping the time for your regular V60 brews. Why is because at this specific time, that is why I want to increase the flavor. I want to retain a little bit more, and that's the mid palate that we're talking about over here. I wanna increase the sweetness, and sort of cut down a little bit on the finish, because these coffees from Kenya tend to have a little bit of dryness at the back if you over extract your coffees a little bit more than you should. So for our last pour, I'm just gonna go straight in the middle. I'm gonna be pouring it to 250. You kept the valve off. And just when it's about to completely draw down, and when you start to see the coffee bed, just give it a nice swirl, just to make sure nobody's left out. We are entering the end of the brew. Yeah, so let me just talk a little bit more about the grinder. It doesn't really affect my workflow a lot, or it doesn't change my workflow as much as I thought it would, and it's great. Let me explain more about how it looks and why it looks this way. This geometry that it's built upon, it does reduce a lot of leftover grinds that you have because of that slope that goes down. What's included in the package is also a bellow that you could use to further clean up your station that you place on top of the hopper, and that would, they really sort of thought about it from a commercial standpoint, from a professional barista standpoint, what they would do to sort of have a cleaner workstation, enriching your experience. So I'm a huge supporter of that. I do enjoy a nice clean workspace whenever I'm making coffee, because someone told me while I was growing up that nothing good comes out of a dirty station. You know who you are. All right, so first impressions. I like the aroma. Nice balance. Really nice, even partition of flavors I'm getting. Just having the coffee steep a little bit longer in the beginning does give me a more punchy front. The acidity is quite round and even. It wasn't peaking too much. Wasn't trying to get some solo attention. Goes into the mid palate. It's quite sweet. Smooth. With a nice finish. It's not too dry. Enough to communicate juiciness. And I hope you guys have a unique experience with the VS3. It is a work of art. It's beautiful. It does change something though. It changes the look of your countertop. Does make your countertop look nicer. It looks so good. And tune in for more content, and we will be showcasing a lot more on our products and how you can use them, how easy it is, and yeah, stay cool. Bruh. It wasn't a cut, bruh.